microphone. Yeah, we won't worry about whether it's recorded or not. And I've got my own.
I can move this out a bit further as well. It might be closer to the people. Yeah, I thought last time you had your head clearly, you've got a good grasp of all this Zoom interference and everything. But I like the way they've set it up. If we have this service every meeting, it'll be rather good. I thought that it might have been a leftover from something they had today.
Yeah, because it looks great all turned off and all that. Well, look, I'll operate this until Sarah's ready to speak. 864 4281 4065. Okay, I've got to admit myself.
What's that? You're getting the number?
Yeah, so
I didn't pay it. When I was leaving last time, I was in the Westfield and it wanted to charge me $40 for parking.
yeah, same here. I had to pay it to get out.
Well, I did. I ended up going in, backing out, trying the other one, backing out, trying the other one, and eventually the thing let me out, which was good. But today what I've done, I've joined.
Yeah, I did too, because I went online to see what was going on. Because I thought you could sort of park there after 6:30, but you have to join them.
Well, I didn't know that, but we never had that issue pre-COVID.
No, you just sort of join.
Yeah, wow. I thought, gee, it works out pretty expensive night at the photography club. Anyway, I'm just going.
All right, well, I'll get there. Oh, look, I've got them all in.
Oh, what was that?
Most of them. I've got most of them in.
Sorry, what's that?
I've got most of them in.
Oh,
I'll put it right back because I've got a power pad.
yeah. They might move around anyway.
Now it's crooked. Oh well.
Yeah. But it's just funny, you get depressed. I know. You know, he's a general. I'll be quiet, funny, he's all these things. Go on with his life.
quite good if they have this arrangement every week. You know, it's better than having a whole big space, isn't it?
Yeah.
I might go and see if the other Lisa and Lindy might be here.
Yeah.
I'll just go and get going with it as well.
I'm going to try this as a microphone and we'll see how it goes.
So you're going to use that microphone?
I'm going to try and have a second microphone. It might not work, but I can always try.
I couldn't see how to use that mic. There's probably another connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a lovely bloke. It's very naive. There's something there.
Hi, girls. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's a power button on the bottom.
Yeah. Oof.
I've gone home in the time it took me to.
Yeah, because I sort of I didn't know exactly what you're talking about.
Because I was going to bring like my card reader and that. Thought they just travel light. So hopefully one of these.
Yeah.
So what do you need? Well, Deirdre, we imagine we can have this set up, but you run a Zoom, you connect to Zoom on that and share your screen on that.
Okay.
But the main thing is that it's got reasonable internet connection and all of that.
Okay.
And I think this laptop has connected to that micropower or whatever from last time. So it's going, it's rather good.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a table so I can.
No, well, you can stand at we'll move this to here and you have your laptop. You can set everything there and stand at the podium and be official.
Yeah.
And that could just get dropped down.
So I think that this is going to. So what do you need to connect?
If you can if you can join the Zoom meeting on that independently, you're totally in control and there'd be no issues involving these technology. Yeah, so if that can work, that'd be ideal.
Have you got your speakers?
I've got one speaker there.
Yeah, so
but if that mic works, we don't need that.
No, but the speaker for because
Oh, okay.
Yeah, speaker for
all right.
when
Well,
people
I'll just connect that to this like it was last time.
Otherwise, I use my personal hotspot. It's trying to decide whether it's going to.
Yeah.
So can
that could be an issue. We need to connect it to Sara's one, the speaker.
Yeah. I'm just gonna try. Yeah.
So East Leagues doesn't respond to me, so there must be a private one that he's on.
Well,
so
type in look for mine. It should just say iPad.
Oh, I can hotspot with me.
Yeah.
But it's East Leagues got a tick, but it's got a thing next to it, so it says it's not strong enough. Where my phone has got
Hello. Okay. Hello. I'm going to turn off the speakers on this.
So what you're saying is
the speaker.
Inbox. I thing.
Recording in progress. Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
I'm going to turn it off. Hello? Might have to move the podium. Yeah.
Okay, so I've moved it a bit so that my it's all a learning curve, isn't it? Okay, so I've got internet and I've got power. That's a start. We might have a 5-minute break as well today.
Yeah.
Because remember she said that we could
This is very special, isn't it? With this section gone,
see what happens.
before I forget, somebody, my nephew told me that DigiDirect has got a thing going for Vivid. $85 for 2.5 hours on a boat in the Alps. And they go for a thing, but just have to book online. It could be, I know we're doing our bit, but it's
Hey, Adri. Oh, hi, how are you? We're trying to work out. Trying to get you out.
See, so
yeah, you can choose or which camera or which group you go with, something like that.
so it's something maybe that.
But you can choose whichever, you know, you click on what they lend them to you. Look at this smart cooking with her, with her.
Oh, sir. Oh, is it the power board there? Oh, then I can move my little. Oh, yeah, I've got the power. Oh, because I returned off the.
Sarah, with her, what the hell you come with her drone?
Okay, so then. You can see that.
Yeah.
So we've got June 2nd.
Hello.
One of the
Yeah. Oh, okay. So different ones. So if you have
and you've done one day.
Olympus,
Yeah.
Olympus, and
So Margaret's.
She's not here to drink with you.
yeah, flipping your house, so she's got to connect to the microphone.
Oh, she's got it in. It's just.
So yeah, I'll look at it. I can go online. So
Yeah, just tell them that it's on the theory. Whatever.
so I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So you won't get
Yes.
Hello.
So the reality is, Deidre, is when we do Zoom, you'll have this somewhere. Are you the host?
Yeah, I'll be
Still
the
with this?
host.
And then you can share my screen.
Well,
I'll
at the
have to-
moment, you're the host.
I can
so-
put this
Oh,
down on there if
okay.
you like.
So,
Will I put this on the down here and let Sarah have
Yeah,
the
okay.
podium here?
And we'll see.
And this is what connects the
That's the
the
dongle
Zoom
thing.
to.
You're right.
Yep.
but it's going to be close enough to hear Sarah's voice.
So how did we have the mic this set up last time? It was
Oh, we have circle and Sarah and I sat in the middle of the circle.
yeah, so it doesn't have if I link it to this again, you can see what happens.
Yeah.
But,
All right. So I'm just going to put this. This is very my slide. So I'm just going to pop it down. I'm going to go get myself a drink, and I'll be back. Hello, Kai. Welcome to the craziness. So we can talk.
But we've got to work out which one to make the microphone out of these two, because if Sarah's zooming in on that, well, she has to, so that the people.
yeah,
Then we should put the microphone on first.
I'd say in a way, I actually don't think we need hearing the other people on the Zoom's not that important.
Yeah.
And we might be able to make sense of it anyway, because that it's going to make it difficult.
Yeah, so if this has got, well, I'll
But
have
I'll-
to connect. Oh, hold on, Sarah's probably got a hotspot here.
Sarah, has her laptop thing sorted out?
Yeah, I think, yeah, but I don't think she.
I'm getting a good phone.
But she, oh yeah, she.
Where am I? Here, yeah.
So let me get on to, oh, this is Matt, so I'm not sure how to get the icons up. Because we need to get Zoom up, but I don't know. I don't know what enough to know how the program's like.
It must be this one that's connected.
Yeah, that's the host.
Connected.
I can't help you with that on that.
Where's the Zoom app?
I won't do that. I'll just leave it.
It's just. Oh, there's the desktop. Looks complicated.
Did you get this the thing sorted out? I went and bought a whole lot of parts.
So how long were you with the moons?
A week, and I've got another week down. I'm going down to the Snowy Mountains with them.
Oh, how lovely.
I also joined their club too.
Pardon?
I also joined their club too.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
fantastic.
Yeah, it seems like they're very helpful and very keen on sharing their knowledge and so on, which is great.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of fun, and it was a really good week.
That's you have to have being able to process all the information they give you.
Is that me?
Yes, that's you.
Yeah. What do I look like today?
Well, you haven't got your boobs showing, and you haven't got your lips and your eyebrows. Come on, Sarah, get with it.
No, that actually suits me. Actually, I might
Turn that off. Do you want to put it on there? It's just a trip hazard, that's all. I'd be happy with it over here. Just so that you don't have to step over.
just see what I've got. Oh, I haven't got any of my photos. Had to do an ambulance thing.
Well, this is the group that you were with?
No,
No,
that's the ambulance.
Yeah, I just look.
yeah.
I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah,
so-
no, that's okay. I was looking for a nice background, and I don't think I've got anything that's strikingly fantastic. My background.
Yeah, I've just moved.
You want to change the one that you've got there?
Yeah. I did do some. No, nothing's been edited.
I'll put this away. I don't think we shouldn't need it.
Yeah, no, the moons were fantastic.
That's green's incredible, isn't it?
Okay, photo. Flip vertical. No, I don't like that either. Does that look like? No.
Well,
Looking
that's
at
that
it.
lake. I've been to that lake. South, where is it?
This is Lake Tyrrell,
Where's Lake Tyrrell? I can't remember. Where.
Victoria.
It is in Victoria.
Yeah, took me hours. Look, it's 900 kilometers.
I knew it was. Actually, I think I went. Must have been on another trip somewhere.
Yeah. I've got
So
nothing.
you're leaving your lovely husband behind to fend for himself. Poor
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah. I'm going to end up with.
What's that one on that you've got that you posted? Oh,
I'm so fussy with my photos these days. So fussy. Oh, I know.
you're getting too bloody good for yourself, huh?
I'm a bit fussy.
But that's nice.
Yeah.
That you're,
No, but they were.
that you're developing further and further with each.
Might do. Yeah, I will say that they were fantastic.
Mm.
They were
Well,
really.
that's what they were good with when they were here, online. They're helping everybody for free. That was absolutely marvelous.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those things that they like to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
They really do.
Look at you, you got nail polish on and oh my God. Well, you're not finished. You need to get those eyebrows on those lips done. And there's one step further. You need cheek implants
No,
and bum implants.
no, I think I'll
Boobs.
just stick to what I've got.
See,
Oh dear. Okay, I'm back to this.
you have to stay with that one.
Choose video filter. I'll choose backgrounds, filters, virtual backgrounds. Ah. No.
Okay, keep going. I'll tell you. That one's all right. With the background there, yeah. Oh, that's nice and smoky.
No, I think I'll stick to that one.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Or this one. No, the other one.
No,
The other one.
Yeah,
Subtle
yeah, it's good.
or this one? No.
No, I think the other
That
one was
one.
more. Yeah.
Yep. That's the way it is. Okay, so
going down to the snowy mountains. How lovely. Yeah, because I've got plenty of snow now. You'll get those beautiful
Snow gums. That's what our job the other week is away. And you know what? They don't skimp on accommodation. They don't skimp on food. They don't.
Okay, but it's probably a pretty penny, but anyway.
Yeah. But
obviously, they do a good job, make sure that everything is good.
Yeah.
That people are happy. How many people do we have?
5 people, and they've run it last week and this week. So
last week and this weekend at the lake.
Yeah.
And then
mid-June when there's some snow.
Because the snow feels like August. It's when it's really.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'd like to drive up to.
Here we are.
Hello.
Yay.
It sounds like.
Yeah. Hi, Norma.
Hi, Norma.
Hi.
Hi, Norma.
Yeah, it's working well.
You're going to move over a bit. Yeah.
Okay, I'll turn that video off and mute that.
So what's this one?
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to be able
All right. So I'm just going to press mute for a minute just till we get everything going. How is everybody? So it's
Good.
this is the first time that we've sort of got I don't know if you'll be able to see, but we've got the wall up in the auditorium. So we've got the tables next door for Bridge Club, and we've got the auditorium wall up. So we've only got a small space, which is really good. And we're just trying to coordinate how everyone will be able to hear. There's mad chattering between Deidre and Margaret at the moment, and there's finger pointing like you do this and I'll do that, and microphone on, microphone off, wondering if they can hear me here.
I want to sit at the back of the room.
Do you? Oh, Margaret wants to sit right at the back, the naughty space, but I can talk up. I can use my teacher's voice. Hey, Alan.
Hi, Sarah.
Is that, Deirdre's now got a microphone in her hand. Can you? Deidre can hear a sound. Are we going to try to turn off the lights as well so that we can see the screen better? Do you want me to have a go in doing that? All right, I'll see you soon. I'm going to try to turn off the lights. Bye.
Is that, it's not that little battery, is it?
No, I'm not too sure what that one is. The lights.
No, I'm not going tomorrow. It's just too busy. Well, listen to my grandkids a bit. Where, this looks like this. That was funny. It's like you just popped up with church or somewhere.
I've turned off the lights next door, but I can't do it in here. None of the, not one single button works. To turn off the lights in
Okay,
here.
that was my special powers.
Wow.
I thought there would be somewhere here.
Because I had, this is all black. I had,
Where did you find the lights?
maybe it's in there.
Who's that on the bottom right? Did you start the phone spying on us? He was talking.
Well, that's the problem. Is you only have one. Sarah's like, even though I've not the one that I'll send it to you.
There's a, well, there's a sign over there, Frank says electrical.
Is there another box? Electric box in there?
No. You found that inside the door, didn't you? So there's a door here.
Okay, Jodie.
Oh, look at that. Something's happening. Yeah, well, some of the
That was
lights
it, just
are
some of the
That's okay.
lights.
Only,
Only, yeah, just the lights on the screen are off.
Is the screen okay?
Yeah, that's all right.
I thought I had turned off the screen. I thought there would be here some control. No, it doesn't.
Welcome to the saga continues. Anyway,
no, that's better.
no distracting Mother's Day presents. What about over there?
That one. That's one.
Look at the time.
Hello? Can anybody hear me up there?
I can hear you very well.
I've got a second microphone here.
Helen, thank you. Frank's just opened a door and there's a major switchboard. I don't think he should be touching anything. All right. How are we going? Who do we look like we're waiting for? Pam? Did anyone hear from Pam?
Lisa and Lindy are supposed to be here.
All right, Frank, don't worry about it. Yeah. So who do we look like? Is there? All right, I'm going to start. You're right, Deirdre?
Yeah, it's like having a sunshine. It's switched on, which is really annoying, so I can't see it.
Deirdre's just fixing a camera.
I'll have to.
Angela's here. Margaret's coming. Hi, everybody on Zoom. This is our sort of computer and presentation and people at home, people here. And Margaret and Frank are now shutting the door so nobody can come in. So I'm going to start. I don't think I'm going to say anything that they don't. And I feel funny. Do I talk to you guys or do I talk to you? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I'll try to do a little bit of both. So welcome to everybody tonight. Welcome to Zoom people. Welcome to everyone here. Welcome back, Kim. Kim came for the first time last fortnight and she's back again. Kim, did you get emails? Yeah, fantastic. So I'm not going to go too much into what was in the emails, but I would really like us to, in the next few days, organise to get our train trip to Bowral planned. And I think what we'll do is we'll try to find out who is coming along, and we'll book tickets for the club, and then you can reimburse us so that we're all sort of sitting together. Otherwise, we could be spread out in the whole train. So there's that. Vivid's been added to our list of outings out. Yura's just mentioned as well. Oh, look, I look awfully large. I don't know if I like being that big. So Yura's also mentioned as well that DigiDirect has got an event, and it's out on the water for Vivid, and depending on your camera will depend on the date. So they start from about the 2nd of June and they go through to about the 9th of June, and they're separated into Olympus, Nikon, Canon, Sony. Sorry? 2.5 hours, and it's $85, Euro said, if you want to go out there. Yeah. So you see Vivid from the sea. So that might interest. Kai's just asking. Yeah, so you can see Vivid by the sea, and I think you just go on to online for that. The next committee meeting, we will be going through the Dropbox to put our photos together for the Australia Cup as well. So keep your eye on the Dropbox because we will choose the photos there. Hello, welcome, come on in. So I'm not going to say very much except tonight, fingers crossed, this is the first time. Russell's here as well. This is the first time doing this. So I'll put on my teacher's voice a little bit. Welcome everybody.
You can't see me. Is my video up?
Your videos, no, Russell, you've got to activate your video. So just go down to the bottom left. Can you see us? Yes. So can you see us now?
Yeah.
Yep,
Sorry, a
perfect.
bit late. I had to rush home.
No, that's okay. That's fine. And you can hear us?
Yeah.
See and hear us? Perfect.
Sometime during this meeting, give you more in-depth information about Vivid and Barrel, how that it works in your own time.
Yes, so that's all on the email that was sent to you. If you want to have a chat about that, we might have a chat privately later if you're if you've got some questions. I'm hoping to have a break at about 8:15 because the club situation has changed. We have to order coffees at about 8:15 because the coffee machine shuts earlier than what it used to shut. Used to.
So just one question. What time is this going till today?
Tonight, well, I've got about 20 slides. Some of them are just pictures. So I do talk a lot, but hopefully by about 8:30, 8:45. So, but if you, Russell, if you need to leave earlier, just let me know and we can have a chat about anything that you've received in your email. We'll do it later. Okay?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
All bananas. Everyone, I'm going to say on Zoom, don't forget to mute. And
sure,
I'm going to share the screen. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about colour theory. It's a little bit in depth, but it's not. And it sort of, if you just follow along with what I've done, it will lead you into the next topic that we've got coming up. So I'm going to share my screen.
And Sarah, could you turn up the volume on your computer?
Let me see. It's up as high as it'll go. Is that better?
How many people on the screen would see?
Yeah. So is everyone okay there? Yeah. All right. So I'll go down and find my Untitled. And so tonight I'm going to talk about colour theory, and I'm trying really hard to find an analogy of colour theory. So I've just decided to say that it's a logical structure of colour. And Kai, because you have actually done your masters and everything, please jump in if you feel that I'm not saying the right thing. Okay. Yeah. So colour theory. All right. I feel a bit like I'm echoey, but we'll see how we go. So what is colour theory? Colour theory is the principle of elements that for visual arts, and it helps us to understand how colours can relate to each other. And when they're applied, they can alter the perception of and effectiveness of a photo. And so you can imagine that some colours work together and some colours don't. So I thought I'd start right back at the beginning and say, well, how do we actually see? Well, inside our eye, we have got millions and millions of rods and cones. The rods are actually red, blue, and greens, and they're in the back of the human eye. And when they work together, the brain translates them into at least 1 million colours. And from those 1 million colours, it then distinguishes them into 10 million different shades. Any questions? I feel funny, I'm up on a lectern. So I'm going to start right at the beginning. I'm a bit echoey, but we'll see how we go. Start right back at the beginning. And it was actually in the 16th century that Isaac Newton, he was in quarantine, which is we all know about. He was in his little house in quarantine, and he put a piece of mirror up against a piece of glass. And then all of a sudden he realized that that light split into 3 colors. It split into the red, the blue, and the yellow, which are our primary colors. And then when he started to play with that mirror and light, it changed and it actually merged into other colors. So from those 3 colors, you could separate them. And he was actually the first person to identify that. And about 2 centuries later, a German professor, Goethe, I think, he then went on to invent what we can see here now, which is the colour wheel. So, you're... Sorry? No, yellow is yellow, yeah. So how does this colour wheel work? So it's a visual representation of all the colours, and at the very heart of that wheel, you can see that there's the three primary colours, and they're identified here as yellow, blue and red. And then from there, they go around and they become secondary colours, which go on either side of that wheel. And from there, those colours can then be split up again to make the tertiary colours. And I've actually put the colours, the words and the colours in those colours so that you can identify them. There are 6 tertiary colours, but they're, depending on what site you go to, really depends on what name they use. Sometimes they just do a combination of red, blue, orange, green, yellow, and then other sites that I went to, they actually have full-on colours like teal. So I just thought I'd keep it simple with these colours here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about colours and how they work and how we perceive them. So imagine that you're photographing, and this is what I'm leading into this. So our next subject is 2 colours together. So imagine you're photographing your 2 colours. And so you've got that one colour there, which is demonstrated first, and it's just pointing to blue, but it's lots and lots of shades of blue, and that's called monochromatic. And, you know, sometimes we do mono as a topic and mostly we do black and white, but some clever bunnies sometimes will have a photograph and it's just all pink flowers or all green leaves or something. So mono doesn't necessarily mean black and white. It's just specifically one color. And if you mix up those colors and into different shades and hues, you're usually guaranteed in a photo to make it work for you. So from that monochromatic color, you can then use that color and then play with the colors, and follow me because the next topic is 2 colors. So you can play with the colors on either side of that, and that's called analogous. And so you can make your own interpretations, and it just creates a little bit more of a story. So you can play with that palette there. And as you can see, that's pointing to the blue, but either side is kind of like the secondary colors, and you can use those together. Any questions? Okay, all good. So this is kind of what I was hoping to get at when we're talking about 2 colors. And this is using complementary colours on the wheel, and lots of photographers use this. Cinematographers use this as well, and you'll find that a lot of the movies that are like Blade Runner and that, they use, say, the greens and the oranges together, and they make it really pop. So when you think about photographing 2 colours, if you imagine this wheel, the colours that are opposite each other, the complementary colours, they work really well for photographing. And so you can just follow your finger anywhere round on that wheel, and they're your complementary colours. So, and you can see like there's sort of Christmassy thing there. And when you're looking at sunsets, the yellows and the blues, they work well together, and the oranges and the purples.
Sarah?
Yes.
Alan here. You were talking about monochromatic.
Yes.
Which was black and white often.
Yes.
Not necessarily. Yet neither black or white are considered colours. Is that correct?
Say that again, sorry?
Neither black nor white are considered to be a colour.
They're not. They're not. So when we say, and correct me, Kai, when we say mono, we mostly mean black and, yeah. So monochromatic, yeah. So just one colour. So if you were to think about black and white, often photos that are taken that are black and white are a mix of greys. Is that correct, Kai? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and that's what Kai say, that you then play with your tones, which I'm going to get to. So then from here you can also do split complementary. Now, these aren't so much that you would use for our next topic, but I thought I would share these with you as well to say that there are different variations, and this is presumably science, even though possibly we're going to test that theory a little bit later. So you can see here that it's become like a triangle, but it's using one color and then just slightly moving it across. So it's not a proper wide triangle. So these create quite a contrast. And this is when you have the triadic color, these colors. And when you have something like this, I was reading it and they were saying that really these colors, when they're spaced out well and you move them around, they are really quite striking. And one of the examples that they used when I was looking at this was someone like the Joker on the Batman Joker. You know, he's quite striking. He's got his purples and his greens and his oranges, looking very serious, Frank. Oh, you can't hear me? Do you want me to yell? So you can think about these colours as well, even though we're just doing two, but I thought I'd just share a little bit of that. We're going through this quite quickly. And so then from the triangle, you can also use these colours as well, and you create like a rectangle or a square. And they're saying that when you do these sort of colours, if you have even amounts of all of these colours, it just doesn't, there's nothing that speaks out. So if you were to choose one colour and make it the most dominant colour and then have small amounts of the other colours, that is like the scientific rule that makes it look better for us. So our eyes, it's appealing to our eyes. So this is what Kai was talking about before, that when you take one colour, so you've got your one colour, and from there, they're broken into hues, saturation, and value. So just the hue is the name of the color. So sometimes when you're doing some editing and you do hue and saturation, you write, Frank, can you hear me? Yep. So do hue and saturation, and that's basically just the color. So that's the flat color, and there's millions of colors with millions of names. And then saturation, so when you're playing on the computer and you're reducing the saturation, that's actually meaning that what you're doing is you're changing the intensity or the dullness of your photo, of your color. And so from there, you've got all of these, like you've got one color, but you've got so many variations of it that can make it a little bit unique to you. And then the third one is the value, which is the light and the dark. So that's adding light, adding darkness, so adding black and adding white. So you look at that one color there on the left, and there are just so many variations within that one thing. And that's what I was saying before, that we see a million colors, but we see 10 million shades of that. So when you're looking at colors, they sort of call it color harmony. And in that color harmony, and you look at the wheel, there's actually cool colors and warm colors. And you think about when you've been looking at a photograph and the colors are blue, you're sort of crisp and cool and snowy and dark and nighttime. And then you've got the other side, which are the warmer colors. So you think about fields and beaches and sunny days kind of thing. So within those colors, you can get those feelings of being warm and being cool. And so when you're talking about color harmony, you can use a color that will really draw your eye into something. So something really specific, and I've got some examples later on. Your colors can evoke some emotions as well. And that's what I was saying before about having something that's warm or something cool. And I've actually got a graph here that sort of talks about all the different feelings that you feel when you're looking at colours. Colours can also communicate without saying any words. Like we look at the colour red and immediately you think of a stop sign, or green, you think of a green, of a go sign as well. You put red and green together, you often think about Christmas, you've got your football colours, so when you put colours together, they actually speak quite a lot. And also when you put your own colours together as well, they demonstrate your own artistic expression, because we all have our own ideas about what colours go together and what colours don't go together. And I've actually got some examples here. So every colour is going to send a message, and that's what I was saying before about reds and greens. And so this is just a sort of an example of some of the ideas that people have about all the colours. And if you invoke those into your photos, they kind of can show some sort of an emotion. They can sort of explain. What are you laughing at, Kai? Yeah, imagine, I don't know whether you heard that, but Kai was just saying, imagine putting all of these colours into one photo. It would be like confetti. It would just be like an explosion of, but, you know, like you could. So, you know, you look at some of these colours and you think about purple, and purple's very royal and you know, it shows dignity and luxury. And so there's so much information here. I don't know if you, yes, Margaret? Yeah. I think it is. Did you hear what Margaret said? Margaret was asking if they're culturally based. I got this off Pinterest, so I think Pinterest is worldwide. So, but I do agree that I think in some countries you would think about it, these colours a little bit differently. It's like when you're reading a photograph, and we in the Western culture read a photograph from left to right, but in some countries that read from right to left, they would read a photograph differently. So I think, you know, I think there's room for error in all of these. Yes, Kai? Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Kai just actually suggested if anyone would like to go around and we'll talk about your favourite colour, and then what did you say? What that colour actually represents to them. Like, you know, if someone said green, that's probably rose, grass, things, you know. If someone said black, yeah. Okay. So Kai's interested in everyone's favourite colours and why that's why they feel it's their favourite colour. So Kai, you might like to go first. What's your favourite colour? My favourite colour is orange. Orange. Did you hear that? Did everyone hear that on Zoom? No. Kai, come up here because I can't hear you. Kai's going to pop her head in here. Sorry? There you go. Kai's going to pop her head in.
Hiya. No, I was just saying that, you know, it'd be interesting if we all shared our favourite colour and why that colour is, you know, important to ourselves. Like I was saying, I like orange because it's a vibrant colour, it's full of life, and it's one of those colours that mixes well with like darker colours like dark blues, dark browns, blacks, and it sort of lifts things up. That's my favourite colour. I'd love to hear yours. Hey.
Does anyone want to talk about their favourite colour?
My favourite colour is blue. There we go. But don't ask me why, I just love it.
Okay, so
well, what it says up there is credible, reliable, professional, trust. And actually, I think they're probably very right. Yep.
Okay, that was Mura.
Did I hear that?
I think.
Did you hear that from Mura?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They didn't even, yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you in the computer, but no. So Yura's favourite colour is blue. Does
I'm
anyone?
between green and brown.
Red and brown, Russell.
Green and brown.
Green and brown.
But
What do you
it's
like?
quite interesting. My favourite colour, apparently from 4 years old, for my mum, and it still is, has always been yellow.
Has it?
From
Since you
4
were
years
4
old. So it's well
Wow.
part of my life now.
Yeah.
One point I like to make, can you give us a bit of information where we can find this on a website so we can look at it more detail ourselves?
Yeah. Well, I just literally put in colour theory, and you'll get a lot of information pop up online.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I will tell you that my favourite colour is green, and I like nature, so I think it kind of suits me. I used to like purple when I was crazy and young, and as I've matured into green, which is peaceful and healthy and calm. So as I get older,
So you like the laid back type, are you? Good to be. But you
Yeah.
get extroverted sometimes and hit yellow, you better watch out.
yeah, yeah.
That's me, I'm saying. Yeah.
Does anyone else want to mention their favourite colours? No, they're all good. They're all silent. All right. So
My favourite colour is red.
red.
The happy colour. I mean, you can't not have red.
It's
I'm happy when red's around. It's passionate. You can't miss it. It's alive.
It's alive.
Red.
Did you
It
hear that?
suits me.
Yeah. Angela was saying that she really likes red because it's alive and it's you can't miss it. So, but
I
what
also
I
agree, probably you and I, Sarah, we'll probably both like grey. Yeah.
what I can do is, if anyone's interested, I will put this photograph up onto our Facebook page so that you can have a look at it. And if anyone else, if you want anything else from this as well, I'll just pop it up on the Facebook page because there's a lot of information to take in there. So, all right. So this is one photo that's been processed 7 different ways. And it's a really good example that sort of talks about triggering feelings and emotions and telling a story. And this is an audience participation. So I want you to have a look at these photos, and some of them may evoke a memory. They may evoke some sort of an emotion, a feeling. Having talked about those feelings and how colours represent something, would anyone like to talk about maybe specifically at the moment the one in the middle? Come on, Kai, come on up because they can't hear you. Can you hear me, Yura? Yeah. Okay, Kim, you can't hear me? You can't? Okay.
So what am I supposed to mention? The one in the middle?
Yeah.
What I like about it?
Yeah.
Or dislike? When I first looked at it, I was thinking of a passage. And I was thinking of like when you go to the movies and you walk down the aisle to go and sit down in your seat to watch the movie. And I had this feeling it was kind of like a pathway. So, oh, I could talk louder. Right. I was saying that the one in the middle reminded me of going to the movies when you walk down the aisle to go and sit and watch the movie, and it has a feeling of a pathway. And then the more I look at it, it starts to feel like I'm looking at a ray, something to do with, you know, sunshine and earth. So yeah, I like the one in the middle. I don't particularly like the one on the top left. It's kind of like ice and snow, and I don't like ice and snow.
Thanks, Kai. Pleasure. I will say that once again, the colours on the screen here are very different to what we're looking at up there. So you people on Zoom, you've got a little bit of a bonus because you can actually see that the middle one is quite red and orangey, and the one on the far right is quite blue and cold. So, and then the one down the bottom on the far right is quite a nostalgic sort of colour. Yura? Do you think? Yeah, do you want to come up and tell everybody? Here she comes.
Yeah, but it's a softer blue up there. This is greenish here. No, I like the one up there better because it's more blue. This is a bit green. The blue one that's up on the screen is very, very clean, very and pure. That's all I can think of, clean and pure.
Okay, so if that's blue, I wonder, when you go back to blue, is it credible, reliable, strength, confidence, peace?
Peace.
Peace.
Yep.
Yeah. So. You don't. Okay. Okay, come up and tell everybody. Oh, it's quite different here, isn't it? Probably. Oh yeah, very different. Totally different. It doesn't really get No. It loses everything.
See, I look at that up there and I think up there it looks vintage to me.
Oh yes.
When you see it here, that's the vintage look.
And that's the sort of scorching, like time.
Yeah, totally different. Yes, that's the vintage, and that's could be at a pool. It's got more clarity, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But look at that. We've got all this. Yeah. You people on Zoom really have the advantage because everyone here is just having a look at what's on the screen, what we've got up on the wall, and they're very different. But it's interesting that we've all got a different opinion about what the colours mean to us. And this is what I'm talking about with getting like colour theory. So good to go? Anyone else want to say anything online? Okay. So what has this got? You know, we can hear you. You're talking. It's okay. It's good.
Don't worry, I'll shut up.
So what has this got to do with what we've got coming up next with our two colours? You're just about to find out. So I can confess that none of these photos are mine. There's not one single one of my photos in this presentation because I don't think I've ever photographed just two colours. So I've gone online and found some information, and here we have the purples and the oranges. And if you squint your eyes and think back to the colour wheel, those or the purple and the yellow, they're the complementary colours. But within those complementary colours, there's a tiny little bit of a split that you can use either side to just tell the story a little bit better. Once again, the same thing. These are the red and green. You think about Christmas, you think about how we follow football and how well the red actually sits up against the green. But as you can see, these numbers here, they are actually the true colour. And there's the Pantone, is it Pantone, Kai? The Pantone number system. Pantone is a company, and they've every colour that you can possibly imagine. And you'd know that, wouldn't you, as well, Angela? The Pantone colours. Yeah. So they've numbered all these colours, and so they're very specific. And if you do any editing with Photoshop, those numbers come up on the screen for you as well. So these are quite striking. Imagine if this was a different color flower, possibly it wouldn't work as well. Or if you had the red and you had a different color background, maybe according to the color wheel, it shouldn't work, but we're going to test that theory. So I have got 4 photos. I think I've got 4, the next 4 photos, and one of them is the correct one. And the rest are the ones that I have manipulated in Photoshop. And we're going to go through them. And if you think about the color wheel and then you think about yourself and how you feel about colors that go together, I want you to see if you can tell me which ones are the right ones. Now, the screen's not too bad. If anyone wants to come and look on this on the computer, they can. So there's this one, this one. Okay, so I've got 3 photos. One is the correct one according to science and the color wheel, and what people perceive colors go together. But then we also have our own interpretation of how we feel about colors that go together as well. So even though we've got this color wheel and there's a science that says that these colors should go, when I started playing around with colors, I realized that there were so many colors that I like that go together that shouldn't go together. So there's this photo. There's this photo. And then there's this photo. Now, one of them is, according to science, the correct one. Which one?
Last one.
Frank thinks the last one. Does anyone want to?
Last one for me too.
Yeah. The first one. Deidre says the first one.
I'd say the first one.
Red and green.
I say the first one.
Seen they're opposites of the colour wheel.
Yeah, so the first one. The second one.
No.
And then the third one.
No.
So I started playing around. I had this photo that I'd screenshot from something, and I thought, I'm just going to send it and make an absolute bizarre concoction of colours to see if I could make it look terrible, because part of what I was reading about says that colours will actually almost vibrate against each other because they shouldn't go together. And then, so I did that one, and no, nobody said that one. And this is not one that's supposed to scientifically go together, but I actually really like them together. And, you know, so that scientifically it shouldn't go, but I perceive that it goes together well. Does anyone else think that these colours go together? Yeah, they do. It does. Yeah. So does anyone think these colours work, or is it just me?
No, I kind of agree.
They work. No.
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 Colours. I wanted to know where I'd use that. Maybe if I set up a scene where I had those colour flowers in a vase or something.
You should have got something from the 50s or the 60s, you know, the old, you know, wars and bowls on the tables.
Yeah,
it takes me back to those times, and for that reason, I think it's quite unique.
Yeah, so it's talking about using them in the 50s and the 60s, and maybe that would work. So
that's like the food that you would serve to a prisoner you were interrogating in order to disorient them.
I know that's now Glenn. Yeah, but so I also tried this one as well. This is not the correct one. But once again, I thought, oh, that doesn't look too bad to me. So
brightens up my brain. The chemicals in my brain brighten up there.
Do they? The chemicals?
They do. It gives me a spark in the brain.
Yeah.
There must be some chemical element to looking at these colours.
Yeah. So, but this is the correct one on the colour wheel. And Angela got it right. So did Frank. 10 points.
Can I say something?
Sure, Angela.
Colours.
Sorry, say that
create tension. They fight against each other. So if you want to create an atmosphere, you pick 2 opposite colours. Like red and green should never be seen together.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
In a room. they fight, create tension. So if you two opposite colours, opposite the colour wheel, creates tension.
Yeah.
You have the two colours side by side on the colour wheel, it creates harmony.
Okay, I'm just going to tell everybody. So Angela was saying that when you do the two colours complementary on the wheel, they create tension. But when you choose two colours side by side on the colour wheel, they create harmony. Perfect. So I just couldn't help myself. I had to just get a few more colours, a few more photos. I was just looking everywhere, and you can see that these photos, even though the other ones were very specific, these ones are not as specific, but they still have just those two colours, but just different shades and tones of those. And I don't think I need to go into this too much, but they're there for you to have a look. And I think that those colours up there with the car is what Angela was talking about, they're quite harmonious because they're colours that are close together on the colour wheel. Yet the one with the crane with the sort of yellows and the blues and the golds, they're opposite each other. So they create that little bit more of a tension thing. So, and the ones down the bottom as well, they're very similar, the blue ones. So it's just something that I thought I'd just, sort of give you a little bit more information and see it actually in action. Yes. A lot of this stuff, like the colour wheel and harmonious complement, was all sort of discovered and talked about in design and painting. Digital card, I don't know, I'm not sure if digital card actually used to I'm not 100% too sure. Hang on a sec. Just Kai's talking about the theory of colour and how it started with artists. And then Yura's talking about how they're the same colours. Yeah, yeah. But I think you're right, Kai, but also we are artists in our own right. So the choices that we make when we choose the colour of the pot that we're going to put flowers in, the colour of flowers that we choose to buy from the shop, the colour of the carrots, the tomatoes, the apples, anything that we photograph, when we choose to do that. What's the time, Frank? 20. 12. Okay, all right. So we've got about 5 minutes, and then we're just going to have about a 5-minute break. So, but I think I'm almost done. Almost anyway. So yeah, so I think the choices that we make, and that's what I'm trying to say, that when you do photograph your two colors, I think that for me, what I would be doing is I'm going to set up a still life or something like that initially, because I don't photograph two colors. So I'm going to be quite purposeful in my approach to this, and buying flowers or fruit, or finding a vase at the op shop or something that's quite specific, that I've got a little bit more control of, rather than waiting for an orange car to come down a street next to a go to your wardrobe. So yeah, so being quite specific. So do we want to stop for 5 minutes? Yeah, we're going to stop just for 5 minutes, because the lucky people here, we're unlucky because we can't see the screen properly. We can't hear you guys properly, but we get to have a coffee. So just have a 5 minute break, and we're just going to order a coffee before the coffee machine shuts. Okay, see you in 5, everybody.
Oh, we just need to connect that.
She'll have to do it on her one. I better not touch it.
So it doesn't matter if it's variation.
What's so good about this photo? Light gray, dark gray, well, actually, yes.
Did you believe in the first one, the first book?
You know, I looked at it and it's not interesting, but it looks good. Mother Nature has done a beautiful job on making us lovely round rocks. That's lovely stuff.
Yep, if you can sort of just get to the system and connect it to the Bluetooth.
Okay. So,
No, there's a lot of noise from next door.
So,
that comes through. So just go to your Bluetooth.
yeah, see, at the moment, my Bluetooth is going through my phone.
You should have two things.
So,
You should
no.
add it. You can't add a
Oh,
device.
Zoom, Lightroom.
Yeah, add a
No.
device.
Hang on.
Because you should be able to connect a couple of things.
Okay, so have you got that Bluetooth thing on?
It's turned.
What's its name? JBL. I don't have. We're just trying to see if we can get a speaker going. Be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No.
We've tried.
We haven't got long to About go. Vowel,
I should give my own ticket because I've got a pass.
Yeah, okay.
Senior pass, so
Yeah.
like, I think I just have to flash it when I go. I'm going to check though, because I'm not sure if that sort of senior open sort of takes you as far as Vowel. Remember one time before we went away, and,
Yeah.
and we went to that office, and they said that I still had to pay, but I got a discount.
Okay.
So I'll just give my own ticket.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, and I didn't think about that. So
And there's you is probably the same boat.
and Frank.
Yeah, so anyone that's got like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to call them, discounted tickets.
So maybe what we should do is we should just go back up to that. So maybe what we should do is just buy our own tickets, and then from there just see if we can sit near each other on the
Well,
train.
the thing is, like, it isn't like where a lot of seats are. The time we went up to the steampunk, we weren't a lot of seats, were we? We just all clambered into the bunk.
Okay, have we got everyone back? Oh,
Just try it. I'll hold it this thing up now, 'cause I've just
okay,
put that
because we're
on.
trying to get the
back.
maybe if the microphone just sat here, so that they can
Yeah, let's just leave it.
just we'll leave it there and see, because maybe they'll be able to hear when someone talks. So okay, so Glenn, can you just say something, because we put a microphone right next to the computer, so we're going to see if it'll work.
Well, I can hear you fine.
Okay, so just can you sing a song or something? And Margaret, did you just hear Glenn?
Do you want me to sing a song?
Yeah, sing a song.
I'll sing a song if you like.
Can I do it?
Yeah, go.
Oh, what a glorious morning. Oh, sorry.
That's perfect.
Oh, what a glorious night.
Can I sing something too? I come into
Go
this
for it.
world to burn so naked wee and bare. I come here the sick from Glasgow and I'll never gang there mere.
Perfect demonstration. Thank you, Glenn.
Okay.
Thank you. So hopefully everyone can hear just a little bit better, because, we're trying to get the kinks worked out here so that we can be together and do it safely. So, all right. So are we back? Kai, we're back. Okay. So we just actually, while we were just ordering the coffee, it's nice to see that some things are actually being paid attention to, and we're all learning something, because we were talking about being dressed monochromatically or being dressed in two colors. And then we were also noticing that there's blues and pinks, but if it's blue, is it light blue, dark blue, variations of? And so, what we were talking about before about the colors, and if you feel like these colors that go together that don't really go together and you want them to go together, then what you can do is you can tone down, when you're editing, tone down your saturation, tone down your contrast, your tints and your tones,
And you can see here in this demonstration here, they're just talking about how you can have one specific color and you can just modify it in a certain way, and that makes it unique to you. And what I was talking about before about the feeling of something, you look at those colors there and you've got a really strong red color, and Angela, you were saying before that color red for you is striking, and it's out there and it's vibrant and you can't help but see it. But you look at that color that you've got there and you have a look and you see, hang on, I'm just going to, I'm not going to change it. So, and you look at that and that strong red is there, but as you go down, and you work down into the shading of it, that red's not as red anymore, is it? Because it's got those tones of the blacks and the whites through it, and it's been desaturated, but it still means something to somebody. So my advice to you is as you are editing your photos or having a look for something, oh, look, there's words up there. Are you doing, oh, I haven't noticed. Deidre's recording this session, but she's also, what is it called? You've got a transcript. Yeah, she's doing closed caption transcripting. So yeah, so what I was saying before about the colours, just really have a look at your colours when you put them together. So, oh, this is the last slide. So I really liked this saying, sometimes all you need is a little splash of colour. So colour makes the world go round. So this is my last slide, but I wanted to just talk a little bit about a few years ago, many years ago, when we changed the whole format for the club, and we decided that instead of doing merits and credits and you know, in the spirit of learning and sharing information, we made these questions up, or these discussion points for us to talk about our photos and inspire us to sort of share what we know and help people that don't know, or people that do know that want to do something totally different. And so what I've done is I've just written these questions or these discussion points back here for us to think about. So when we do get together next and we are sharing our photos of two colours, then be a little bit purposeful with what you do and sort of think, you know, well, obviously when you talk about it later on, you talk about where the photo is taken, but the real intention behind the photo, rather than just putting down two things and saying, oh, leading lines, two photos, it's a blue one, there's a yellow one, or there's an orange one, that'll do. Just the intention, what are you trying to say? Were you interested in the texture, the design? Was it something new to you? Was it something that was given to you as a present and you wanted to take a photo of it? It's also a really helpful thing for us to talk about camera settings. And I remember a long time ago when we started this, I used to madly get my photo and write down F23, whatever it was, F12, because some people that are still learning to use their cameras and they're on auto or on what is it, program, you know, just to take that next step to say, okay, so if I'm going to take a photo of a mountain, I am going to make it an F16. So, and they're those little subliminal things that we do for each other and share that information that you don't need to ask anybody because it's just there for you. So it's a nice idea to share some of your settings. And also a lot of us are Canon users. There's the odd Nikon user. There's a few Nikon people. There's a few.
I'm Canon.
Canon, yeah. So there's a
also Panasonic Limits bridge camera, but anyway.
Yeah, so it's because maybe some people will jump ship and move to another format. So it's also good for to talk about processing. And, you know, some people use Picasa, some people don't process, some people are really authentic with their photos and don't want to do any processing. They want to just capture everything in the camera. And even though we've all got different thoughts about processing or not processing or how much you do. And I can say that we've often learned a little bit about processing, oh my goodness, how did you do that? And we get sidetracked a little bit. So it'd be a nice idea to talk about that a little bit. Be great if you could sort of talk about what appeals to you in the photo. And also, you know, when we do our photos, we often have a little bit of reflective practice and say, what could we have done differently? And you know, it's amazing. You do a photo or you print it out and you look at it and go, oh, and I do swear, but I won't swear. I wonder if it does. Does it work if no, I'm not going to swear. So I could. So you go, oh dear, oh drat. You know, there's something that's not right in this photo. And I will say, very famous photographer, Sydney photographer, Peter Eastway, who we know, some of us know. He went to Antarctica. He did a fantastic photo of a boat in Antarctica. He captured it, he printed it, he put it in a book, and someone messaged him and said, great photo of your camera bag. And he did not even notice that his camera bag was next to a wrecked boat in Antarctica. So sometimes when you take those photos, you look back and you go, oh, drat, I should have done something differently. So I'd really like us to get back to a little bit of sharing that information, because ultimately we are a club of learners, and we've all got our L plates on for something. So that's something for you to think about as you go forward to take your photos of two colours. So the last thing up there is questions. So does anyone have, I talk a lot, don't I? Sorry? Do I repeat myself a lot? I'm sorry, Kai. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? Is that a problem? Is that a problem? There you go. So does anyone have anything that they'd like to ask? Any questions before you disappear for the night?
No, just thank you. So I was never quite aware of the colour theory in photography, and applies to a lot of things in life. So yeah, it's really interesting. I'm going to look some more into it. Yeah, so props to you. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Oh, thank you. And really, Russell, just if you put in colour theory into your Google, then you will get lots of information there, and even just pop up images and you'll get be inspired. And even you can do two colour photography and you'll get a lot of information.
I love learning new things no matter what it is. And this is
it's an interesting theory. You know, you can actually just do anything you want, but there is real science behind it. So any other questions?
Just one thing. It's interesting because when I get a Photoshop or Snapseed, I never really thought about this. I thought I did it by sort of feel and what it looks like, you know, and this is just made a bit more in depth. So maybe I can go back after this colour theory and think, oh, okay, well, that's what I'm doing, or that's what I meant to do, you know. So that's also, well, that's good.
As long as it wasn't boring.
Definitely wasn't boring. My style can be quite interesting, I can tell you.
Okay, cool. All right. Any questions here? We're all good? Okay. No questions. I either did a really good job or everyone's asleep. So I'm hoping you're not asleep. So, all right, everyone on Zoom?
Yeah. So do we have that private chat after this or another time?
Yes. Nice to see you back, Norma. You've made it safely back to England. Everyone's waving goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Very interesting.
Glad you liked it. Bye. Stop share. And leave. Am I leaving?
Should we talk about that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, Russ, what did you want to say?
Vivid. I'm very interested in joining Vivid. Very good opportunity in photography. I was just wondering, are you on Meetup or Facebook to connect to that?
I will put it onto the Facebook. I usually do like an event.
So what do I look up on Facebook for that? Just your group, Eastern Suburbs.
Well, you know what I think we'll do for you? What we'll do is we'll do an email so you know exactly where to go.
Thank you. And
Okay.
yeah, I love to come down. Just depends on the cost. Is it going to be expensive, you reckon?
Yeah. And when we have been to Vivid before, we usually meet along the quay there. We usually choose like, I think it goes 1 on the right up to about 6. So, but we usually meet there, or we meet outside of City Extra, you know,
No,
the
City
shop
Extra.
there. Yeah. So we'll
And the trip to
meet there.
Bell, how's that working? Do you know yet?
Well, what we might do is we'll send an email to you. Kai mentioned, and it's a good point, that some people have got concession cards.
Well,
and
I'm in
so,
that position too.
yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll buy our own, but before we buy our own, we'll get a list of people and we'll almost do it online at exactly the same time, so that you know, we'll pick a day and say, okay, on this day, book your ticket, and we'll tell you what time, what date, and it will be leaving from Central at 7:05.
Okay, and that's between where we just spoke to the concession.
Yeah. All right.
So, thank you.
Okay, you're more than welcome, Russell, and we'll get that all in an email specifically. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your week. Bye, Glenn.